Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another Fool's Gold comic review, and in this week's one we are covering Future State Gotham issue 6. Thank goodness, and it's really nice to have this be here. To those who are new to how Fool's Gold works, this is how it works. Now, with things I rate with the cover, the art and the story, just like many of the previous, but the only thing that changes, that differs, is that I put in how much I think the cover is worth, how much I think the story is worth, and also how much I think the art is worth in the story. And that works in correspondence with how much I pay for this in currency conversion, so how much I pay for it in regards to how much I think it's worth. And as you can see, it's $3.99 in US dollars, to which it converts to $7.15 in Australian. So let's see how well Joshua Williamson does in this Future State Gotham issue 6. Well, starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to anything that is happening inside of the comic? Surprisingly, it does, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. So, with this, we'll now move... being a 7 out of 10, I believe the cover is worth $1.50, so... and that $1.50 goes to the art, or goes towards the artist. And I will not be covering the backstory in this, but I definitely recommend that you do read the backstory in this, because it also showed up in the Batman Black and White anthology, and it's got the story by Jorge Jimenez. Best story ever. I would give that story a 10 out of 10 over what I'm actually going to be giving this story in its rating. Alright, now it's time to move into the internal art, to which we'll look at the beginning, middle and the end. I will not be covering art of the backstory, just this one. So starting off with the beginning of the story, where Peacekeeper Red, or should we say Red Hood, has finally captured the fake Batman, who we know as Tim Chase Fox. For the magistrate. I'll now move into the middle of the story, and this is some of the art around the middle of the story. I must admit, I did find myself enjoying this art a little bit more in this issue. And last but not least, some of the art towards the end of the story. Alright, for the art overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10, to which I believe it was worth $1.50. Now it's time to move into the area of the story. To those who are new, there are certain areas that I do point out that I enjoy in my stories, and if they aren't in my stories, they are subject to losing points. So starting off with first things first, were there any comic references to any of the previous comics? No, there wasn't. Points lost. Was there any indication of what time some of this was taking place? No, it wasn't. So points are lost in both areas. What about the location? Well, I was able to make out the location, but it wouldn't have hurt if they included the location, which was the Magistrate HQ, to which I had to work out myself through reading the story. So again, points are lost. Moving into the next thing, the cast of characters. So in the cast of characters, we had the appearance of Nightwing, spoiler, Red Robin, of course, fake Batman, Tim Chase Fox, Red Hood, We also had the appearance of Peacekeeper 3, Peacekeeper 1. We also had members of the GCPD who made their appearance, and last but not least, Warmonger. Some of the characters were there for extra, and that's understandable, but they didn't have much to say, which wasn't too bad. I did find myself enjoying this story a little bit more, but overall it got a 6.5 out of 10, to which I believe the story is worth $1.25, giving the overall total. Did he actually end up making back the whole $7.15 for me? No. Making the overall total $4.25 Australian. I don't know what that converts back to in the US dollars, so I'll leave you to sort that out. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.